Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube video. If you don't know me, my name is Darius Mora, and I will do my best to show you the latest and greatest hacks and strategies and techniques to build and grow your app business. So in this video, this is a new format, so let me know what you think about this. But I want to show you really cool apps that are making a lot of money, that have small teams, and something that you can replicate maybe yourself. So in this format, we're going to review an app, and this is the first video, so let me know what you think about it. But without further ado, let's jump in. Further ado. So today we're going to talk about motivation, daily quotes. Now, when I was doing my research and I stumbled upon this app, I was shocked at the amount of revenue this app is making and how simple it is. It's just insane. So it's a simple motivational app, and I'm going to walk you through. We're going to analyze the app, analyze the performance. I'll show you the tools that I use to analyze the market. And then afterwards, we're actually going to walk through the app, and I'll try to explain to you why I think it's working so well. So it is a very simple app. It just shows you motivational quotes. So this is when you're inside the app. You can see you can scroll through and gives you quotes. And it has a widget which shows you the quotes on top, and you can put it into your screen. So engineering wise, super simple. There's some categories and some things you can like and share, but at the bottom of it, it's a very simple product. Now, here is the shocking part. Let's look at the revenue and analyze this product. So I'm using AppTweak as my tool to look at all the market, and I've selected a time period of the last 30 days. And right now we're looking at the financial analysis of the last 30 days. And this is incredible. So apply. Oh, sorry, my internet is slow. Okay, so total revenue, clicking too much. Total revenue, $765,000 in the last month. That is insane. Daily average revenue, $24.7 thousand. This app makes $24,000 a day. And you've seen how simple of a product that is. And the revenue actually dropped down 20% compared to the last month. I don't know why that is. It's not important. It's still making insane revenue. Here we have I added some competition. So daily affirmations and daily quotes, and think up some similar apps that I just tossed in. And we can see how the revenue goes over time in the last 30 days. It is just crazy. Now, it's a free app to download and use a subscription, the basic best practice to generate a lot of revenue. If you compare the free apps to paid apps, the paid apps at upfront payment always make way less money than the free apps with subscription. It's just a superior business model. But I want to show you something even more interesting. Let's select the full last year. And my internet is slow, so you have to be patient with me, but we selected the year. Now this app made $9.18 million in the last year. That is insane. The revenue grew 300% compared to the year before that. So that's crazy. Now, here's the interesting part. When we look at the last 12 months, and you can see the red line is the motivation app, and the other lines are the other apps that I've selected. So they still make money, but nowhere near as much. Now, here's the cool part. Look at this huge spike. And this was in November 23rd. The revenue went to $100,000 in one day, as opposed to previously it was making $10K a day. Now $10K a day is still great, but it's not $100,000. Now you might wonder what happened here. If you recall, in September 2020, the widgets came out as a feature on the App Store. So all the apps could have widgets on the home screen, and this was a new thing that Apple developed, and they released it in September. Now Motivation was smart enough to implement this feature in their product from the very beginning. And because and this happens every year, Apple will announce new features on the App Store. And if you use those features as an app developer, then Apple will feature you, and they're going to push you in the algorithm and in the ranking. That's what happened here. The app was featured, and Apple really pushed it because it was the perfect use case scenario for widgets. Everybody likes to have nice little motivational quotes on their phone. $100,000 in one day. And as you can see, it wasn't just one day spike. Obviously, when you start generating a lot of revenue, the App Store algorithm will push you higher. You start ranking higher for keywords, and then suddenly the revenue kind of stabilized here, and it's making between $20,000 and $30,000 a day. That's their new plateau, the new normal after they got featured. So a great lesson here is if an Apple is working on features and they announce it in the spring, and then in the fall, usually in September, they actually release it. Sorry, there's a reflection on my face. But the key lesson here is, if Apple is announcing new features for app developers, use them, because when they're released, Apple is going to prioritize the apps that are using their new features. We see this every year. So this is the crazy part, $9 million. Before we continue with the motivation app, I want to share a little secret list I have. I've been looking at the app market and the industry for the last, 8-9 years. And I've been part of, a lot of big apps and a lot of big projects, and we're building stuff. And I have a list of apps that I think are similar like the motivation app. I have a list of small apps that are simple to make, don't require a big team, and can generate a lot of revenue. And I'm going to give it to you guys for free, because I think the idea is a fairly small part. It's just 1%. I think everything is in the execution of the idea. So I'm happy to share it, and I don't want the lack of ideas to stop you. So if you click on the link in the description in the video, you can get this list of app ideas for free. You can just download it and you can use it. This is the list that I use myself when I'm thinking about side projects, when I'm consulting, or when I'm thinking about building something new. And I keep adding ideas to it. So you can use this list, take whatever you want from there, and then go and build it. Now you have no more excuses. Let's look a bit further. I also wanted to take a look at not just revenue, because that tells you one part of the story. But if the app is spending a lot of money on advertising, maybe they're not even making money. So revenue is just one part. It's not the actual profit that we see here. Just remember that's only revenue. Now, in the detail by app analysis of the ad intelligence part of App Tweak, we can see the actual ads that are running. So if the app was not running any ads, then you know that it's all profit. But they're running some ads. Now, we don't know how much money they're spending on the ads, and that is not possible to see through any tools. That's just only the company themselves, they know. But we do know they're spending some money. Now, you can make guesstimates based on kind of how many ads they're publishing, and you can kind of, if you spend a lot of time looking at this, you can kind of get an estimate. Now, I think my assumption is that a large part of the revenue is actually profit, but they are running ads. You can see it's on Facebook and the Audience Network and Instagram and Messenger, most of it on Instagram, and most of the creatives are actually dynamic creative optimization. So Facebook and Instagram allows you to do this format where you upload a bunch of creatives and then it selects for you what's best. And then here we can see the actual ads that are running. This is incredibly powerful. So the ads themselves are very simple. See on Instagram, and this is on Instagram, they just show the screenshot of a phone with the quotes in there. This is the widget, and it also sends you notifications. That's basically the app. It's super, super simple, and the ads are very simple. It doesn't require any fancy production or videos. So this type of business doesn't have to be very complicated. And let's look at another part. So if you wanted to take inspiration from them, a good idea would be to look at their keywords, and then when you build a similar app, you can compete for similar keywords. So using the keyword tool, I'm not tracking any keywords right now, so let's go into their metadata, and then we can see I want to track all these apps, all these keywords, sorry. Let's say the top search terms for this app, I want to track all of them. And then let's look at the keywords they actually rank for high. Give it a second to load. So what we're doing here, whoops. Okay, here we go. This is showing us the rank, and I'm going to organize it by rank. So here we can see all the keywords that this app is ranking for number 1. This is a huge number of keywords. This is so valuable, because even if they stop running the ads, they would still have the marketplace, they would still have the real estate of being number 1 for all these keywords, which is incredibly valuable. Once you're number 1, it's really hard to knock somebody off of that position. Now, of course, if they stop running ads for these keywords, they'll have a bit of a less volume of traffic, which means that their keyword rank might fall down, but that is that depends. So these are the keywords. Now we can see which keywords are variable, because we can see the total installs on that keyword and what's the search volume. So this is just a number that tells you how many people are searching for that keyword. So the higher the number, more people are searching, and what are the total installs. So for the selected time period, this keyword got almost 1,000 installs. This one got 1,100, for example. So the more valuable keywords are the ones that bring more installs, obviously. And there's also other stuff. But if you want to do, this is the installs that actually this app got from that keyword. These are estimates, but they're pretty accurate. So you can see this keyword, motivation, which is a misspelling, I guess, actually drew a lot of installs. That's fascinating. We see that a lot, that misspelling of keywords actually drive a significant amount of traffic, which is interesting. So what you could do is you could look at the keywords that they rank for, and you can try to compete. Of course, if it's a high traffic keyword where they get a lot of search volume, it's harder and harder to compete because a lot of apps are trying to compete there as well. But anyways, so this is the kind of financial analysis. And now let's look at the actual team behind it. So our one of the criteria is we want to have a small team. So when I do my research, the way you find out about the team is you can, and sometimes it's actually quite difficult to find out who's working on these apps. You can be quite anonymous. So if sometimes you can just Google their name and their kind of company and you can figure it out. Otherwise, it's a requirement. There's a developer website and app support. Now here's a little hack. A lot of the app developers will not actually have a website, and they will not show a proper website with contact information and kind of find out more. A lot of these developers want to be anonymous. They just don't want to advertise to the world. They're making $10 million a year. In this case, we can open the developer website, and it does show us the actual website of the company called Monkey Tabs. If they don't have a website, you can go on app support, and that will, a lot of times, that's just a one-pager. But in that one-pager, legally, they are required to have a contact address. So at least there's an email that you can contact them if you want to connect with them. In my day job, I'm the chief marketing officer at Reflectly Group, and we acquire a lot of apps. So this is one way to get in touch with them. So Monkey Tab, look at the website. They have a bunch of apps. This is the one that we just reviewed, Motivation. And they have a bunch of other stuff, tool for Slack and other apps. So what I did next was I wanted to look at the actual team behind it. And I looked at LinkedIn and I searched for Monkey Tabs. And here is go back, there's the page. And you can see it says they have 5 employees. On LinkedIn, there's only 3 listed here, and only one of them has a co-founder in the actual title. So it's a bit more than a solo developer, but super, super tiny team making crazy revenue. And this is the other apps they have in their portfolio, but Motivation is by far the biggest one. So now I'm going to try to analyze the app for you and try to explain why I think it might be working well. So I've installed the app, and I think the best thing for you would be to install the app as well right now and walk with me step by step so you can follow along. I'll just show you what I'm seeing on my screen as well. So when you download the app, the first thing you see is this kind of a splash screen, as you can see it. So it just says self-care, self-love, self-growth, and get started. So it just welcomes you now to the app. And afterwards, it shows you to set up reminders. Now, reminders work really well for this app because people love to see getting a reminder, getting a notification on their app for the little quotes. And it's just a nice little pick-me-up notification. So you can set up the notifications. I'll just click continue and then set them up. Okay. Just asking for some permissions. And the next thing is add a widget to the home screen, which is really nice. A lot of people are using that apparently because they're using it in the ads. And then you have kind of a onboarding where you can select what's the reason why you want to use the app. So what would you like to improve? And I guess they're using it to kind of filter the right quotes for you. So I'm going to say happiness and continue. And then I have another onboarding screen which kind of lists, there's a nice animation that lists the benefits. And this is the upsell screen. This is where they make most of their money. So I like this screen because it's very simple. It lists all the things you're going to get. There's no questions. It's pretty straightforward. There's a 3-day trial and then a $20 a year subscription. Now, $20 is not huge. For example, if you look at Calm, the meditation app, their annual subscription, I think is north of, so this is 20 euros actually. So let's say $25. The Calm subscription will be, $60, $70, $80 depending on when you're testing it. So it's not a huge subscription in terms of the the price, but I'm sure they've optimized, they've tested all the different variations, but it seems like this is the optimal number to get them conversions and get good revenue. So you can start a trial and continue. I'm going to cancel this because I'm not interested in subscription. And then after you get in the product, there's a very simple, just tutorial thingy that shows you can just swipe up. So got it. And then I get a quote, and then I can just swipe. And that's basically the product. That's really all there is to it. This is the main part of the product. Now, I can click on, there's a little button, and it gives me kind of a menu where you can see several different categories, and you can create and filter, and there's some settings, and you can like it and personalize, and there are themes, for example, so you can choose different color themes for the background. People like to customize that, but really, this is basically the product. Now, if you have built, oh, there you go, I can like some of the quotes. If you have some basic experience in building iOS apps or any apps, Android apps, probably take you, a week to build this, not more, and it makes almost $10 million. Now, you can't just build the same thing, replicate this product, and publish it to the App Store and expect to hit $10 million. Of course, this app was on the App Store for many, many years. They did a lot of things really well. They were very smart with building the widget at the right time, and now it's an incredible product. And after their success, there's probably 100 other motivational apps that make no money because they've already been top, and you have to be different. So I'm not showing you this to try to replicate them because it's not going to work. There's a lot of quotes apps now. Everybody's trying to do it, and most of them don't make any money. I'm just trying to show you that there are apps that have a tiny team, there are simple apps, and they make a lot of revenue. So this is possible to do on the App Store still today. And remember, if you want to get my little secret list of app ideas that are just like the motivation app, click the link below, get the list for free, and start building.